Hello, welcome back to another video on not only Patreon but the YouTube channel. We are previewing Nottingham Forest away today. Fulham away to Nottingham Forest at the City Ground against a Nottingham Forest team who are one, unbeaten this so far in the Premier League, two, going to be without Morgan Gibbs-White, and three, going to be without Nuno Espirito Santo on the Nuno Espirito Santo. Yeah, on the touchline. What does it mean? Well, let's get into it. Welcome to the video. If you enjoy daily Fulham content, do subscribe to the Patreon. We upload every single day, and days like today, which is Thursday, because Fulham are playing away from home. The press conference is on a Thursday, not a Friday. So we'll be speaking to Marco Silva a little bit later. The full press conference will be on the Patreon. There'll be a reaction from the press conference, and yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And obviously, and then you've got content on Friday, and then Saturday's obviously the game where you get a lot more content as well. Right. Let's get into it. So, on the Forest side of things, let's just start with Gibbs-White suspended. Danilo is out. Obviously, he got injured on the opening day, broke his ankle. Very unlucky injury, and we wish him all the best. Sangare, hamstring injury. He's going to be out, and Willy Bolly could be out as well. It's only noted as a few days on FotMob. In terms of Fulham, it just says Vinicius at the moment, and we'll find out later today whether Vinicius is ready to be involved. Whether he will be involved or not, I'm probably anticipating he won't be. This is going to be a really interesting game. I think Fulham are very much on the up after that win against Newcastle. Really, really solid performance, really, really good result, and played a very, very good Newcastle team off the park in the first half. And yeah, let them back in the game a little bit, but Fulham were more than good value for the 3 points. As for Nottingham Forest, when they played Brighton and Hove Albion on Sunday, they took the lead through Chris Wood, and then two quick fire goals from Brighton, Hinshelwood and Danny Welbeck, and then an equaliser from, let me just get his name up because it's Sosa with the equaliser. That name did escape me. Now, I actually already have an idea of how I think Nottingham Forest might line up in this game. And the reason for that is because of enforced changes because of Gibbs-White's suspension. Only out for the one game, but I tell you what, it's a massive boost for Fulham. Gibbs-White is such a good player. So creative, so dangerous. And yeah, just a bit of a hothead, really, on Sunday. Did he win the ball? Maybe. But yeah, he got himself sent off for a second bookable offence. Now, I think that Forest will line up like this. Sells in goal. Same back four of Moreno, Murillo, Milinkovic, and Ola Aina, former Fulham player. I think in midfield, we'll see Yates with Ward-Prowse. The front three, Alanga, Elliot Anderson moving further forward, Hudson-Odoi, and then Chris Wood up front. That is how I'm just guessing they'll line up. As for Fulham, I think, like last week, like the week before, I think Fulham will be unchanged. I think it will be, for anyone watching who doesn't know what the lineup would be, it would be Leno in goal, at the back, right back Tete, centre backs Anderson Bassi, left back Robinson, midfield three of Sasha Lukic, Andres Pereira, and Emil Smith-Rowe, and front three of Alex Iwobi, Adama Traore, and Raul Jimenez. Now, you could make the case that Reece Nelson could make a start. You know, he came off the bench against Newcastle and scored, started against Preston and scored. But I think this is like a winning formula. And I think Iwobi is really key for Fulham at the start of games. You look at the way he plays, the way he links up with Robinson, the way he links up with Emil Smith-Rowe, that sort of trio of sort of link-up play, quick passing, quick little rotations and combinations, making moves forward and towards the final third is really key for us. And I think Reece Nelson right now, great player, love Reece Nelson, but he's very good off the bench. He brings a lot of energy to a team that needs a bit of a boost, needs a bit of a lift, and also can run at tired defenders and cause all manner of problems. Now, City Ground was not a very good place to go to last season for Fulham. We were 3-0 down. In fact, let's just go back quickly and have a look at that game on head-to-head. We were 3-0 down at half-time. Goals from Hudson-Odoi, Chris Wood, and Morgan Gibbs-White. I think I missed the third goal. I went down to the concourse to have a drink. Yeah, and I missed it. I watched it on the TV with a load of other Fulham fans who'd already had enough. Tosin then got a goal back. I didn't realise how quickly into the second half he got a goal back, actually, the 49th minute. And that was all she wrote, really. Fulham lined up that day fairly similar in terms of how we're going to line up on Saturday, really. The only ones sort of, in fact, 4 changes you'd probably see from this team that might line up on Saturday. Obviously, Palhinha left, so in comes Emile Smith-Rowe for him. Harry Wilson started, in comes Adama Traore for him. Rodrigo Muniz started, in comes Raul Jimenez for him. And Tosin, obviously not here anymore, in comes Joachim Andersen. I'd argue that's, Palhinha is such a good player, though. Is it a better team on paper for Fulham? Yeah, I think so. I think Palhinha obviously was a fantastic player for Fulham, but have we replaced him out and out with Sander Berge? Maybe not. But in terms of the way the team looks now, it's looking in good shape. Emile Smith-Rowe is obviously a fantastic talent to have, playing as the number 8 currently, and obviously can play in the number 10 and drifts wide as well to link up with Iwobi and Robinson, like I said, and that's how he scored on Saturday against Newcastle. I'm fairly excited for this because, a week ago we sat here and we weren't too sure about Fulham after the draw to West Ham, and I certainly wasn't very confident about beating Newcastle, although I predicted us to beat Newcastle out of pure just wanting us to win, needing us to win, sort of manifesting it. But I think now, seeing that performance against Newcastle, I know obviously we're going away from home and we haven't won away from home yet this season, apart from Birmingham in the Cup. I feel a lot more confident about this Fulham team now. I think there's definitely a case to be made that we can go to Forest, who are without their key player in Morgan Gibbs-White, give them a game, learn from our lessons last season, and I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win the game. I don't know if you watched Jack and Joe yesterday, Jack and Jack, but we both predicted that Fulham were going to win, and I'm going to just double down on it. I think Fulham are really up, and this isn't me with any disrespect towards Nottingham Forest. I think they're a really good team, and actually, since they've come up into the Premier League, and you look to their recruitment strategy over the first season, and you thought, well, there's no real process to this. Obviously, they stayed up and did very, very well under Steve Cooper, and just about stayed up, beating Arsenal, and 3 went down below them. Last season, they actually finished 17th last season in the table. It just so happened that the 3 teams below were pretty poor, and Luton made a fight of it in the end, but they stayed up quite comfortably. Nottingham Forest last season, they beat the drop by 6 points. And they made a really, really good start to the season. And they have, my point being is they have a very, very good squad. I think that front 3 on paper, Alanga, Hudson-Odoi, and Gibbs-White is as threatening as you'll get in the bottom half of a Premier League, a bottom half Premier League team. I think Forest, I wonder what the aspirations are for Forest this season. I'm guessing they'll just want a better, 16th and 17th. And I don't know whether they'll be looking at the top half, but the start they've made, they'll be very encouraged by it. Be good to have a full season with Nuno as well after Steve Cooper departed last season. This is a team, of course, we beat 5-0 last season as well. So, and then obviously in the last encounter they beat us 3-1. So, with 2 different managers, Nuno being the manager that beat us 3-1. I think it's going to be a really interesting game. Yates brings a lot of energy in midfield. We know the quality Ward-Prowse has from set pieces, and he's an overall solid midfielder. Elliot Anderson's very, very promising player that they bought from Newcastle during that weird period where teams were selling to each other for PSR reasons, and glad Fulham didn't really get involved with any of that. It sounded a bit farcical really at the time, but I think Newcastle actually, as a fan base, as a club, were very disappointed that they had to let Elliot Anderson go. I think who went the other way? It was the goalkeeper, wasn't it? Anyway, and then obviously Chris Wood, who time after time just proves that he is a very, very decent, capable Premier League striker. Scored an incredible hat-trick against Newcastle. Was it a hat-trick or a brace? I think it might have been a hat-trick on Boxing Day a couple of years ago. Obviously scored against us last season, scored last week against Brighton. Chris Wood has had a really, really decent start to the season and is just a good striker. This is a really, really tough game. And the reason why it's so tough is because Forest make a hell of an atmosphere. You talk about atmospheres at teams like Liverpool and West Ham and Newcastle and, I don't know, like Leeds United. it's got nothing on Forest. I'm not here trying to brown nose Forest or whatever. I know there'll be Forest fans probably watching this thinking, you know, we're going to watch a preview with Fulham fans' perspective. But I generally thought last season, I couldn't hear myself think. The loudest ground I've been at since Millwall away in 2018, where that was really loud. And obviously we dipped them 3-0 and that was all good fun. But yeah, Forest made it really intimidating from the start. The noise was huge. We were 3-0 down by half time. I was thinking, this is a nightmare and a really, really tough environment. So will Forest be discouraged that they've obviously not got Gibbs White and they've not got Nuno? Probably not, because like they're still unbeaten. They still got a reasonably good point, very good point at Brighton last weekend. And they're hosting a team that they'll look on paper and go, look, Fulham are a very, very... Well, I hope they'll say that Fulham are a good team, but they'll say that Fulham at home, I mean, for most teams, or any team, they'll see Fulham at home and they'll say, we need to be winning that game. This is the game we need to win. And because of Forest have made such a good start to the league campaign this season, their need for points isn't as important as if they were to start with, if they only had 1 or 2 points on the board right now. That's not saying that they're not going to give it 100% and they don't want to win. They obviously want to win because good start to the season. Like, I now don't see Forest being in any relegation problems this season. They've made a too strong a start to the season. They'd have to go on an almighty bad run of form to basically be down there. They're on 9 points, I think now. They're 1 point above us, so they're like 8 points above the relegation zone, which is great for them. I've also spent quite a lot of time talking about Forest. Let's talk about Fulham. Raul Jimenez up front, fine. 2 goals in 2 penalties scored against Preston North End, so his confidence will be up. Emil Smith-Rowe, I would like to see Emil Smith-Rowe play a 90-minute game, absolutely, but he's just, again, still building up his fitness, and I'm sure when that time comes, we'll see 90 minutes from him, and obviously he's performed really, really strongly so far this season. Yeah, Pereira's obviously not had the best of seasons so far, but he does contribute, and he is part of a midfield 3 that's working quite well right now. There was definitely some teething issues, but I think it's tricky to say, because actually, in fact, that last time we played away from home against Ipswich, we were pretty lucky to come out with a point. And then last time we played against Man United, obviously we played well, but we couldn't get the goal and we ended up losing. So it will be interesting to see how Fulham operate away from home. Obviously, feel a lot more confident now playing at the Cottage than anywhere else. But if Fulham can get some time on the ball, they can create some chances. They've got really good width and really good overlapping runs from Tete and Robinson. Overlapping runners, I should say. Adama Traore, and a lot of the chances that Fulham have created, especially away from home this season, even at home, a lot of the chances that Fulham created in every game so far this season have been like Adama picking up the ball on the right-hand side, either driving it the fullback, going down the flank, or he'll cut more inside and look for an inside pass towards the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe, Andreas Pereira, whoever's up there, Rodrigo Muniz or Raul Jimenez. So definitely feel like Fulham will get some joy. Definitely feel like we'll have some chances. I think, and obviously I back Fulham to win the game. I think we're going to win the game if we can get an early goal. I think we're going to win by 2-1. I don't think this is going to be easy at all. But like I said, no Gibbs White is a huge boost, but there are players that can hurt you in the Forest team. Ward-Prowse, like I say, from set pieces and even from open play. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Alanga, just some really, really decent players that Forest have. Defensively as well, I mean, Alex Moreno, pretty capable at this level. Haven't seen loads of Milinkovic, but Murillo is a fantastic centre-back. And Ola Aina we know all about as well. Yeah, obviously they've got Nico Williams off the bench as well. He might start, but it looks like Ola Aina will probably get the nod ahead at right back. And I don't think there's anything more to add. It's a game that it's hard to predict because we haven't really seen a good Fulham away performance from the first team this season. In fact, we haven't really seen a good Fulham performance away from home all season. Even the win against Birmingham, we were second best. The draw against Preston, we were just poor in large spells of the game. We played well at United, but again, like didn't show that promise going forward. Didn't show the end product going forward. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. Really excited for this one. Really looking forward to going up to Nottingham and seeing what we can do. Hopefully we can win, like I say. Forest fans, if you're watching, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Fulham fans or Forest fans, if you did enjoy, please do subscribe to the channel. We'll obviously react to the game on Sunday, and that will be uploaded Sunday morning. And again, like I say, the Patreon is a great place to get daily Fulham content. Tomorrow we will have an away day preview. Sorry, not an away day preview, an away day guide to Nottingham Forest, the best places to drink, etc., etc. Before the game, we're also at the under-21s watching Fulham versus Sunderland. There'll be updates from that. Obviously, press conference stuff today, and then the game on Saturday as well. Reaction on Sunday, which will also be on YouTube, like I said. And then Monday, we just do it all over again, preparing for Manchester City away during the international breaks. Lots of very exciting content to come up, to come for sure. And yeah, I can't make any promises, but I've made some inroads in certain certain conversations with people, and hopefully we can get some incredibly exciting content on the Patreon between now and October and the start of the game against Aston Villa. So yeah, that's it. I'm sorry I start rambling at the end of videos. I should probably just cut it off there. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. Enjoy the game. We'll speak Sunday, and Patreon members we will speak later on today at the press conference. Take care, guys. And the links to Patreon are in the description of the video and in my social bios, Twitter and Instagram. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for being here.